Hi guys, and welcome to a Mike's Positively Technical World video review. Today we're going to be looking at the new Worx brushless WG633 Hydroshot. It features brushless 2.0 technology and is a completely new animal. I say it's new. Let's go take a look and see how it performs. We've got lots and lots of features to look at. This is a completely new kettle of fish compared to the WG630. It is better in every single way, but let's go take a look on the table and we can discuss that further. There we go guys, here it is, up close and personal. You can see it's so big it doesn't even fit into the frame, so I'm just going to make it life easier for myself. I'm going to just turn it into the short lance version and yeah, so make life easy for myself. I think it's just the same as talking about it in standard format. It's just got a shorter lance and it now fits completely in screen. So first thing you'll notice is it is completely different kettle of fish in every way, shape or form. It's extremely ergonomic. You've got your battery now is central as opposed to the side slanted version that was obviously on the WG630. You now got quite obviously 56 bar of power. That equates to 812 psi. Now the previous WG630 was only 362 psi of power. That's taken from obviously the bar, 56 bar, you times by 14.5, and then you end up figuring about 812, 25 you turn it by 14.5, and you end up figure somewhere in the region of about 362. Just quick off the maths. So you still got eco mode on it. You've now got brushless motor 2.0 technology. The brushless motor on this is actually slightly smaller than it has been before, but I believe because it's higher new generation, it is actually more powerful. Today, for the purpose of experimentation and having a look, we're going to be looking at the 4 amp hour Pro battery going in it. So to open it up, you've got this sprung magnetic catched battery docking bay, shall we call it. Simply slots in there. Note the size of this as well. Obviously we're all waiting on tenterhooks for the 8 amp batteries. That kind of restricts ever their future battery sizes, especially for use on the Hydroshot. It's also worth noting it's part of the new Nitro range, and of course it runs on the 20 volt max batteries. It's now 92 decibels. And it also features the usual accessories you expect to see obviously in the Hydroshot. It features the new hose, which is completely different to the old hose. The actual hose is exactly the same, and so is the end connector. However, you now find a smaller clunk, so it can go into your feed bottles a lot easier rather than having to take it off, and rather than having the old style connector on the end, it's now got a standard Jubilee clip, which has got a very nice health and safety compliant plastic clip over across the end of it to stop you getting any sharp nicks or anything like that. And inside you've got just one absolutely tiny, compared to the old one, filter. It's really small, but yet effective. It requires obviously washing out a slightly bit more regularly than the old one did, especially if you're using more murky waters, but it's an evolution of a product. Obviously, like I said, it fits down the necks of all sorts of jerry cans and stuff like that a lot easier. And you'll also find on the end here, rather than having to unscrew and get to that nodule of a mesh, sort of like a little cone mesh inside, you now got a simple insert filter that you can pull out and route underneath the tap there. So realistically, there's not a lot else to turn around and say other than it's extremely ergonomic. Obviously, when I'd done the original WG630 review, I did turn around and say that that side battery sort of design might off-weight slightly, and it did to a certain extent. Instead of basically being like that, it was like that where you held it. This is 100% balanced. They've clearly taken my I like to think they've taken my recommendation of the side start battery, and that is now holding it like that. She's 100% balanced. I mean, that's really something. I do have to mention the end connector now features silver ends. Beforehand you had brass ends. They have changed very slightly, and this is by like I think it's about 0.05 millimeters the size of the nozzles. They are slightly smaller. Maybe that's due to the higher pressure, but obviously you also get increased flow of 220 litres per hour. This is obviously not detrimental to the fact being it is a portable pressure washer, so you got to bear in mind at all times this is a portable pressure washer. This is not a keep in your garage and wash your car on your drive sort of thing, though you could still do that. Obviously you've got an outside tap, then obviously you know, your use and your version of need for one of these is sort of downwardly excused, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's really designed for go anywhere. So this is kind of like when you've obviously finished riding your mountain bike, before you turn around and put it inside your car and take the front wheel off, etc. Or even before you put it on the bike rack and then starts clagging mud everywhere, so when you get home you don't have to wash a muddy bike, you can wash it on site. Just take a 10 litre jug of water and you can give it a spray off. Or if you're like me and you just trust in your Worx products so much, you can just completely get rid of your mains powered jet wash. I got rid of my Karcher K2 in favour for the Worx WG633. I found adequately powered for everything that I needed, including washing the car, doing pavements and keeping pavements up to scratch, as well as obviously lots of other remedial things where I was like, oh, I need the Hydroshot for that, such as cleaning my hot tub, etc. It does fantastically on that. It's actually quite nice to have a slightly lower powered sort of than mains power. It is lower power, but then you just have to work it a little bit harder to get all the grime cleared off. I think this is a bit of a evolution on that, and actually goes to prove that it's actually more worthy of equivalent nearly mains power. It's actually 50% less than a standard mains power, but it still throws its weight around very, very nicely. It also stands upright as well now, which is a nice little touch in both formats. Obviously it's got the short lance on it. With the longer lance it does tend to still nod down like a nodding dog. The trigger on it as well is a bit shorter throw. It's a bit more how can one say, smaller, the amount of pressure. So beforehand you used to have a longer throw and it did used to fatigue your hands a lot more. Eco mode's still obviously selectable. Once obviously it's on, it will then do that. It will then go into a lower mode and it will just go rather than go yeah, other than that, I think I've covered everything there is to know about this. Let's just get out there. I will quickly tell you about today's review. We're going to be having a look at all the accessories as well. So we're going to be looking at the scrubbing brush, the wheel brush. We're going to be looking at the mister very quickly. We're also going to be looking at the snow foam gun. We're going to be looking at the old versus new heads and see if there's any difference. And we're also going to be looking at the turbo head as well. We might have to use the extension because not being fun. I think it's bitterly cold this morning, and I don't really want to get hypothermia. So without further ado, let's go over to the beast that is my wagon, and go have a look and play. All right, I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, guys, here we are at the back of the motor. It's completely filthy. You can see. You can't even really graffiti on it, it's that bad. But we're going to spray it down first, then we're going to hit it with the foam, then we're going to spray it off, then we're going to hit it with the scrubber, have a look at doing the wheels as well, and see how we get on really. It's worth noting, first off, I'm doing it 15 degrees, that's where I normally do my vehicles, so we'll start off with that. Not bad at all. You can still see some of the right in there, but overall it's not too bad. Let's have a look at the turbo nozzle. Turbo nozzle going on. lot better. I'm liking it. There's still a few blemishes, but we'll get those with the soap. This is before any detergents have gone on, so we're now going to try the soap bottle. And for this, and for the purpose of the camera, I'm going to swap over to the longer lance. Oh, he says, it's so cold I can't grip it. Worx needs to stop bringing out pressure washers in January, February, March actually. We should just let that settle. Fast forward. Okay, for the spray off, we're going to be going with a 15 degree from the old Worx WG633. We're then going to have a look at the 40 degree, if he says. Now we're going to switch over to the scrubby brush to try and get rid of any residual stuff. Before then, I think we'll do a 40 degree on the new nozzle afterwards, just to have a comparison, so we've got all of them covered. Then we're going to have a quick look at the wheels, and then we'll do the wrap up. All right. All these nozzles. There's scrubby brush, guys. We're now going to move on to the wheels. I'll go for the front wheels actually, because they're slightly more caked on. I'll give it a fair test to get some through some harder grime, if you like. It's absolutely freezing, so I do apologise about my speech and my hand movements. They are very, 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 very. Yeah, it's cold. All right. Yeah, let's move on, and we'll go have a look at the scrubbing edition of the wheels. We're also going to have a look at the fine mister as well. Okay. She's actually very, very good. There's not a single bit of muck on there. That's quite amazing, actually. Okay, guys, we're down here at the wheel. We're going to have a look at a bit of 0 degree action and just seeing how good it is. Probably do a 50-50 split. We'll do some 0 degree action, some pinpoint work, and then see how the turbo nozzle gets on as well. Is actually extremely powerful. Let's go with the turbo and see whether or not it's any better, worse, or otherwise. Turbo nozzle, dare I say it's actually equal, it's slightly faster than the 0 degree nozzle. let's just finish her off, soap her up, scrub her off, and then finish the job, and then we'll go for the wrap up. I think the soap gun's faster. I'm just going to scrub it whilst it's actually still got detergent on. Then just for the effect, I'm actually going to soap it back up again. He said, there we go. I'm going to soap it back up and then we're going to use the mister and see what difference the mister is on this. So you can imagine, obviously, this is all now dripped off for a period of about 10 minutes. We'll have a look, see how good the mister is at getting rid of the soap. Probably better than any of the previous ones, just use the fact that it doesn't agitate when it goes on. We'll also just do the same again. I'll use the brush this time. So we'll soap up again and then we'll hit it with the brush, the rotary brush this time. See a little bit extra rubbish coming off from the inside there. Let's give it a final wash off. Let's do something we haven't done before. Let's go for the sprinkler. New head. Have it, guys. I don't know about you, my hands are red raw, they're freezing cold. Let's get inside in the warm. I'm going to put the heater on for a bit, we'll get some feeling back in my hands, and then we'll do the wrap up. Let's go. So guys, the WG633 E. My wrap up on it and my conclusion is it's extremely powerful. It is the most powerful Worx Hydroshot that's 20 volt out there on the market. It's very impressive. I find it very, very ergonomic. It wasn't very tiring on the hands. It wasn't fatiguing. There you go. And it's just a great piece of kit to use. I hope I went through all of the accessories that you maybe wanted me to. I do like little touches. I do like is the IPX5 rated battery cover. It's also got seal around the outside as well. Really, really nice. In theory, it means you could almost save for the vents there. Obviously, for the motor, you can actually, in theory, wash this with a hose to clean it. Don't, for the love of God. But IPX5 basically means low pressure. Jet rated. That's pretty impressive from a jet wash. I suppose power wash, sorry. Power wise, I will say it didn't do too bad. Everything you saw there was everything I used it on. This is a completely fully charged battery that came straight off of charge port number 1 here. And I've still got 3 bars out of the 5 left. If you want me to, which of course you do, I'll go through the battery voltage. She's a little bit juicy, and the exact amount of voltage left is 18.36 volts compared to a fully charged battery which is 20.6 when these come off. I'll just confirm they're 20.6 by taking the sister battery from here and going to like 20.45 volts. I was wrong. I like being wrong. Proves I'm human. So yeah, there you have it. That's how low it went. The battery is slightly warm to the touch and a little bit pleasurable considering how cold my hands are. That said, like I said, it is a lot more powerful. It's twice basically as powerful, actually more than twice as powerful as the WG630. Whether or not it shows actually in that like performance I've just done there, it is, but it's very subjective. Like I said, it's one of those sort of things whereby with greater amount of power doesn't necessarily come greater amount of cleaning ability. It is also a case of it's just quicker and easier to use, especially using the accessories. They work a lot faster, a lot harder, and then they don't give up so easily. That's where the extra pressure and the extra power comes in. And I think, to be honest, you're going to be looking at cutting down your car washing times by around about 5 to 10 minutes by using WG633E over the WG630. I tried to go through obviously the process that I use obviously to clean the car with, and I hope that that was potentially insightful and helpful for you guys. As always, if you want to comment obviously on the videos, there's a space down there to do it. I'll interact with as many comments as I possibly can. Sometimes obviously there may be a delay, sometimes it's like bang, like a lightning bolt. All depends on what I'm doing. Yeah, I think other than that, I think that's all I've really got time for today. We've obviously gone through that quite thoroughly and quite rapidly. As always, guys, like, subscribe, comment, what's up. And I shall see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys. See you soon.